Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you, of course, by none other than Because Bitcoin. The reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream. Welcome, guys. I am Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. Sorry, I had something in my throat there, but I'm joined by Tucker and Jackus. We're gonna see if we can get the doctor on later. He loves the new way that we send the link out to join these streams. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Have had a great start to the week, right? A good Monday. We're kind of in the wake of that Bitcoin nuke yesterday, and alts have responded with a very resounding buyback, right? So we've gotten some good volatility already to trade. That was something that I mentioned yesterday was, we used to joke. What we didn't used to joke about it was actually just completely serious. When we had all this economic data, it was very likely that we'd have volatility in markets across the board. But it's funny, we got a huge dose of volatility before we even got to those meetings at all. And even funnier that, those meetings haven't really provided us with any measurable volatility in quite some time. Maybe that changes, right? Maybe the Bitcoin dump that we had on a Sunday night kind of sets the tone for the rest of the week. And we are surprised either pleasantly or not so pleasantly, depending on your positioning. But real quickly, guys, before we get cooking and sharing that alpha, I'm going to be the one to bug you about liking the stream today since Max is not here. We always appreciate when you guys smash that like button before we get started. I think it's still early enough in the week where you guys have enough energy that we are still smashing the like button rather than just caressing it. Destroy the like button today, guys, in honor of Max. And we've got some really, or Jack has made some really great memes that we might share on stream about Max and the like button, but they were cracking me up this morning. But yeah, no, if you guys could hit that like button before we get started, we always appreciate when you guys engage and, of course, enjoy our content. But setting the tone for the show, guys, I talked about yesterday how my Italian dinner kind of got, I wouldn't say derailed, but I was surprised at the price alerts that I was getting when I was just sitting there with my family, unable to access, my trading accounts. Bitcoin flushed very hard, and it has, come back. It did come back into a very critical level, right at 42K, ETH back into roughly 2230, 2240, but neither were able to quite break market structure yet. So I'm inclined to think that at best we're going to continue chopping, and at worst, and that's something that we can debate on the stream today. I still think that Bitcoin can trade down into 38, 39K. But what I will say, the behavior that we've observed over the last 24 hours tells you exactly what's probably going to happen whenever Bitcoin finds a low, if it hasn't already, right? Bitcoin sets a low, and then you're going to see alts catch a crazy bid, because clearly people want to speculate right now. They want to speculate on alts. That will probably be beneficial for ETH. And then obviously probably some of the larger caps that haven't yet run. Was seeing some observable SOL weakness today, kind of in light of that. But yeah, no, I mean, the alt buyback is encouraging. I think if you're looking for some sort of high beta alt season rotation here over the next few weeks, we've had a huge run up on Bitcoin from basically 25 to 44K. It's only natural, right, that you're eventually going to get some real distribution of that wealth back into altcoins. Might not be your favorite altcoin though. Who knows? It's a big hot ball of money. So we'll all be chasing it. As far as equities go, guys, seen a lot of strength in that market. Once again, that's nothing new, right? I mean, we had some very, very early week dips on some mega cap tech stocks. The S&P continues what I believe to be a potential vertical accumulation pattern. And I think it's only a matter of time before we either get a big resolution to the upside, or you see it kind of pitter out in the same way that it did during the summer top, right? And that's something that I don't really expect to happen, just given the flows that we have into the end of the year and how strong that they have proven to be. But I do think that we are probably about to get some very measurable volatility in the equity market as well. It's very fitting that we have, I guess we had CPI today and Powell later this week. So yeah, we should have plenty of built up positioning to be able to give us the volatility that we all so desperately crave. But usually I pass it over to Max. So I'm going to open up the floor to everybody here. Anybody who has any very pressing thoughts about the price action that we've seen over the last 24 hours, what they're expecting into the end of the week, I would love to hear from you guys. But make sure to hit that like button. What are we seeing in the markets, guys?
I can tell you this: a lot of
There
boredom.
we
You're
go.
gonna hear some crunching in my background
Oh no,
because
Will.
the construction company next door decided that they want to do construction 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Um, but yeah, so there's not been enough volatility, I would say, for my taste. Like I would like more volatility, but this is how the market goes. It gives and then it sits, and then you think that it's over, and then it gives again, right? And when you think it's over, typically, what are you doing? You're selling positions. You're taking profit. And I think that that's kind of where a lot of the market is in this. It's in this disbelief stage, as it has been for most of the run up, and it just doesn't believe that things can continue pushing forward, right? I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of people who are kind of in the boat of retrace, and it's like, hey, every single retrace, where's the retrace been? It, I don't know. I don't see the reasoning for retrace at the moment. I think the market stands still. I think all coins run. It's something to pay attention to, and that's basically it at the end of the day for me. Like I'm not gonna overcomplicate the easiest play I think out there. Like you got the halving coming up. What more is there to think about, right? And some people will come into this and they'll be like, well, macro this and macro that and blah 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 blah. But that's all it is at the end of the day. It's just blah blah blah. It really doesn't have a reasoning because we see the market. What's the market doing? It's reacting the way the market wants to react. And I think that a lot of people don't take that into consideration when they think about the market. They just look at the market and they're like, "Oh, well, this thing's gonna affect that, and that thing's gonna affect that." No, nothing's gonna affect anything. The market's gonna bid or it's not gonna bid, and the market has decided to bid. So I'm gonna play on the side of the bid.
Yeah, I mean, you can already see, I mean, just from yesterday, right? We had a revisit to the lows, and the very first thing that people bought back were altcoins. They are all the top performers on the day. Unsurprisingly, right? I mean, altcoins, when we go higher, are usually the top performers, but, TIA went up like 15, 20%. INJ went up 10%. I'm seeing a new acronym, Incel. I kind of like that one for INJ and Celestia. Um, but what about you, Tucker and Jackus? What are you guys seeing?
I
I love that
mean,
insult meme.
yeah, the incel thing is pretty funny. I mean, I think it ends up being, um, look, I'm looking at the daily here. We filled the FVG completely, right? I mean, we filled this to a T, right? Full fill. We can continue higher now, right? It's time to go higher. And if it's not, then this isn't as bullish as it looks. I mean, I don't know, man. You might need some consolidation in here first, but like, if we can do this, then I think that's fine. But I think if you continue to struggle to like hold these lows, then it just, I don't know. It might start looking just a little bit distributive up here if we start doing this. And then you maybe get the flush down here, and then you know what I mean? People looking for that, right? So I don't know.
Well, the
I'd be
thing.
really surprised if that played out.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, this will probably get filled at some point. I just think it's from where.
Yeah,
The
the
thing.
question is from where.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing that I think a lot of people get mixed up. So is they look at it and they're like, well, if this happens, then this scenario happens, and they look at it as distributive. So when I talk distributive, I'm talking like, hey, market's over, it's toast, it's distributing, right? When we talk distributive on here, a lot of the time, I think maybe there could be potential that people get confused because that type of distribution is a lot different than a market is over type distribution. Market over distribution means that, hey, you're coming way down, right? You're coming down to like 25, you're coming down to like 24, and you're gonna really start distributing to the downside. Like the distribution we're seeing right now, for me, is just the market itself coming up and stating, "Hey, we need to just chop sideways and hold here." Like it's a whole different type of distribution than your atypical distribution of, "Hey, this market's toast." And I wanted to kind of throw that out there because I think like, for your person who probably comes here every day, they may not understand the difference between a high distribution zone, as in a market reversal, versus a distribution, as in like you're just kind of chopping the range and then you'll probably move up again.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of, mini local distribution accumulation patterns that play out, right? Like this clearly was coins being distributed above 43K, right? And then they nuked it. So, yeah, it doesn't mean the market's like cooked, right? It's not like the distribution we saw, up here,
2022,
right? Like
before the
this,
reversal.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is like market wide distribution, like waning strength, and then they nuke it, right? And this, again, also distribution.
Like
So,
if we are going to distribute at this level and top, I think we're going to probably put in a top that looks like the end of 2021. Not that I have any, like I don't have a strong opinion on whether we top here, but I do think that Bitcoin will cool off and alts are going to really run aggressively here, regardless of what that means for Bitcoin, right?
If that were to occur, Tommy, and I'm completely on board for that scenario, then yeah, I would agree. Like you're probably at the end of 2021, right? And now you're gonna 2020 2024 may not be so pretty, right? You may just be really kind of sideways and down the entire year. And it doesn't mean down in a big way. It's not going to be 2022 again, in my opinion. It would just be down to that 30-40% that me and Tucker talked about, potentially for the market if that ends up happening. So if you see all the garbage in the entire space do exponentials, people start getting 50x's, 100x's, like it might be time to kind of like at that point take profit.
I think what's also very important to say is that look at each distributions, whether it was in 21 or whether it was in 2019 after the run up, and compare the time the distribution took versus the current market structure, and it's simply not there yet, right? So if this is the top, then you really have lots of time on BTC still, which I do not think is the top, but if it were, it's probably going to take like at least similar time, like the true distribution bit from beginning of 2022 to March or something like you can clearly see all of these, they do take time. And even if you look at the smallest one with the deviation above new all-time highs in 2021, which like the prior distribution happened in April, right? But then you got the November, December sort of new all-time high, but that one still took many, many days to play out. Compare that with the current price action, it's not there yet.
mhm.
Well, I think,
This,
if we do have some sort of setup where, and you're right, Jackus, the market is a lot less volatile than it used to be in the sense that our tops and bottoms take a lot longer to form. Like people wanted, what was that? The final capitulation, right? That's what Capo wanted, the final capitulation candle. But this market isn't really geared for that very much anymore. We had the FTX capitulation, which I think is a little bit different, and obviously Luna, but many people view Luna as a black swan. I personally don't. FTX was definitely a black swan.
yeah,
That set the low, that final capitulation leg, like a huge wick. It's very rare that you see markets create a bottom like that, and equally as rare when you see them put in a top like that. So, I think rounded bottoms, rounded tops is probably the name of the game, but it's I think reflective of lengthening cycles at the end of the day, or maybe we're proven in Q1 that cycles have actually shortened, but I do think lengthy cycles are ultimately very favorable for altcoin outperformance, which I just wanted to hammer home one more time because I think alts are on the verge, man. I know they've run up really hard already, but you guys have outlined it very clearly. We can take a look at things like Total 2 and Total 3.
Oh
There's
yeah.
still a lot to give back, or a lot to take back for Total 2 and Total 3. They haven't really moved yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. They literally, I know it feels like they've moved, but they really haven't. Like, especially compared to Bitcoin. Like, Total 3 is at 30K. Like, this is 30K, 31K, maybe, whatever. But, like,
Yeah.
this is 48K Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin's like here, right? Let me get rid of some of these lines. That's a lot of, it's a lot of room to make up. It's a lot of room to make up.
May I actually steal the chart here, Tucker?
Yeah, go ahead.
Quickly after you're done.
I mean, guys, what are we talking about here? What do we talk? 52% on the altcoin market? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see Tyrell asking, isn't that a sign of no new liquidity coming into alts though? And you know, alts can take or pumps on alts can take on a lot of different forms and
Oh, no
fashions.
liquidity, man.
People want a 2021 spring style alt season. It's going to be difficult to achieve that without just complete excess and fraud. We had new money coming into the space back then, but the fall of 2021 provided amazing opportunities in altcoins, and that money was rotated out of Bitcoin. It came out of ETH. It came out of Solunavax, but it ultimately, there were plenty of opportunities in alts, and there still have been. I think in this current market, right? You've had, right? I mean, we can kind of see it on Total 2 and Total 3 that alts haven't run yet, but people think that alts have already pulled off a really aggressive move because you have things like Sol that is up 4x off the bottom, and you have other coins like Celestia over the last 2 weeks that's outperformed really strongly. But
I want to touch on that. I always wonder, what does no new liquidity mean? Like, a lot of people say that, but what does that actually mean? Because I tend to see
I
new
suppose
liquidity.
what they
I tend to see new liquidity step in whenever prices depreciate to certain levels, and I tend to see new liquidity back off whenever prices exceed certain levels. So I don't know, like, if we're just saying that it doesn't come in general, or if we're saying that it doesn't come in at times where you want it to, or if it's not opportune, or what it is. But I tend to see new liquidity step in when opportunity is at its best.
that's
I
actually a
love
good
the
point,
comment from Evan Kate.
honestly.
You can step in on that, Jackets, though, too. I know you were going to say something.
Because it's
Well,
not like we had all the new participants come in when Bitcoin was at 10 to 12K. It was probably, I would say, I remember crypto getting really hot, and I came into crypto like December of 2020, like the very end of December, and it was because of ETH pumping like 100%. That's what got me in, basically. But I'm sure I'm not alone in that sentiment. When you see an asset I mean, not just altcoins and not just Bitcoin pumping 20 to 30%, but like when you have that parabolic run up, people take notice, people like making money. Imagine that.
well, first of all, guys, you may have noticed that we don't have Max on the speaker panel, but Max is with us always, and he has a message for us. Okay, it's right here. So do as he says and smash the like button, because Max will be coming here and there. I promise you. With the memes, right? Well, to what Will was saying, that like where's the like what does it mean no liquidity, right? And if we look back at like the, I don't know, 25-30K region, we heard that everywhere, right, Will? Like, where is the new liquidity going to come from? There is no new liquidity. And well, boom, the liquidity is back in. And then people are saying the same about alts now. Where's the liquidity going to come from? There's no liquidity in alts. And then a few months after, why didn't you buy the bottom, Anon?
Yeah, it seems like, and I don't say it at all to meme the question. I say that because I want people to understand that, you know, the liquidity discussion is really just a meme. It really is. I know a lot of people are always like, oh, no, look, retail, yes. You could be like, where's retail's money? Yeah, maybe retail's broke. Maybe retail can't step in, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we can agree on that. All right. But outside of that, like new money has been flowing in crypto since the bottom. It has. Now some has rotated out, but new money has been rolling in. I just want to be very clear about that. You can look
Yeah,
at total three and see that.
yeah, and also there has been lots of sideline money that has been just waiting for lower, that's stepping back into the market. You know, there are some new money coming in. Definitely, we've recently had some mainstream media mentioning BTC once again. Some retailers coming back in. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily the top right here, of course, as we do not think that's the case, but it's definitely the signs getting there, you know. I do not know, like, from uh, market psychology where exactly I should I should say we are. Like, for example, if we combine this run with the 1919 run, well, then obviously many people could say like we had a breakout and then, you know, we are somewhere like maybe we are just at the first. Well, I think that's slightly different because back down here we had the accumulation from the bottom, then straight up another accumulation, another breakout, another accumulation. So like maybe you want to look at it from, well, these are not the same, right? We are just trying to see the sentiment, and I think we are currently here, sort of, where like we basically had the bottom one, we had another one, and then maybe I do not know, maybe like this entire like is like a small version of this run up. So I think there is still more upside, and as I've been saying, this is the area I'm looking for this leg to take over. But you still need to look at it, look at the current price, and you are just getting the first real pullback here, right? So if you're going to compare that with with uh, with this distribution, it you know, let's say we are currently right here. So if that is the top, okay, and we do like a pullback here. Okay, look how many more days this one took. Okay, so maybe it's like I'm gonna scale it a little bit. So maybe you're thinking we get that 30K pullback, but it can still take this long. Okay, it can still take like until at least March, where BTC would start topping. You know, you'd see alts running, maybe you like sweep this high, that's it, and then there's the pullback, and then there is more upside. Maybe, you know, it goes higher and we are not there yet. But what I'm trying to say here is that I do not think at all that this resembles any type of distribution just yet,
Yeah.
you know, just yet. Also, the level is really not an important one to distribute in my opinion. I've been saying this level is huge for a reaction, and it's been a clean one. It's been a clean one that held the price down in 2022. You know, if we would extend it, you know, there's been more. It's like a low volume node, you know, from the volume profile perspective, and it has caused a reaction. But that was the same here, right? We had weekly inefficiency, so this one caused a reaction, not as strong as this one, but it did cause the reaction. But in my opinion, this is not a place really to distribute at. Uh, like for example, here you wanted to break all these highs and then you started to distribute above. So let's take this let's take this on the 3D, right? And say we are somewhere like here. From the 3D perspective, um, maybe I need to make this higher, of course. But if we were okay, so let's say there's the upside, right? And way the distribution comes in, and you're once again looking at least April before some like the distribution really needs to take time. And I do not think any major higher time frame breakdown comes until at least like Q2 2024. Till then, there's upside or sideways. If you are going to look at just look at these guys, look at these bottom ranges. This one took 272 days. This one above took 220 days. That's 500 days, right? You don't distribute 500 days of accumulation slightly above in even in like 100 days. You simply don't. You would need let's say the run up is going to continue. We are going to distribute. It will need to take at least 200 days to distribute, in my opinion. So lots of people are not accounting the time aspect of charts. And this is just one of the most solid bases you will find in BTC history. We have not seen this strong bottom since 2015-16. That's why I think this base holds forever. Also another look at this the same way is like, look, this was legit 500 days. Now look at how long this entire structure took. Okay, 500 days basically, slightly longer, but you get the point, right? So this is the base. This is the base. So you do not distribute type of price action in a short period of time. What I think is likely to happen, once again, if we are reaccumulating here in another box, and let's say we somehow get the big pullback here, as Tucker was saying, is possible, then we would still be looking at something like this, most likely. Something in that regard. Not know, and I cannot know yet how that evolves. As I've been saying, I was expecting a breakout above 50K. That's still my main case. I can show you guys what I think happens. This was still my.
Make sure to hit the like button, guys.
Yeah, I also have a trade offer for you guys. Okay, I have a trade offer. You guys will receive alpha, and Max receives likes.
Oh, that's
okay,
good.
I told you that Max is with us today, not as a speaker, but he's with us. And he made you guys this offer. Okay, so you guys will keep receiving alpha here, but he demands likes. What likes are we at, guys?
Last time I saw we were lacking a little bit, guys.
Hang on, let me check. Let me check here real quick. Let me. Hang on.
Guys,
36.
We can do better than that, guys. There's 55 of you watching right now.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Because I know all of you have 2 YouTube accounts to like this video.
Guys, keep liking the video. More alpha is going to come, and more Max memes demanding the likes too. Right. So this was still my sort of like price estimate that I think will happen. And I cannot tell exactly why, but notice the lines of this distribution that I had in mind, that it needs to take some time before, and obviously you could do like this, it doesn't have to be exactly this long, but and this is also what I wanted to mark. So in 2019, we went above all these highs, and only then we started to distribute after we took those, right? That's the sentiment changer. The moment you break these highs, that's the reason why I always think we need to come above this high and make that sentiment change. People will be FOMOing, not able to take it anymore. This is going on here, trading view. What the fuck? Anyways, yeah, I'm looking for this sentiment change and distribution. About it's possible though. It's possible, okay, that like we go way higher, make new all-time highs. Obviously, there will be many pullbacks like this one in the middle. Then we make like a big pullback, and who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's like this, right? But for now, the the message I'm really trying to share here, guys, is that the market remains to be bullish with the higher time frame lag, and there really is no evidence right now of a big distribution. By the way, you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree. I don't think there's any signs of distribution yet. I think I was speculating if we were going to have a distribution up here, it would probably be an elongated version of what we saw at the end of 2021. But I think that Bitcoin is going to at least test those. I mean, it just feels incomplete if we don't at least test I mean, it's only like 4 or 5K away, I guess, from where we topped anyway, locally speaking. But I don't think that Bitcoin is topped within this rally, whether that is just like a 5 or 10% high above what we have, or if it's going to be a parabolic pump. I think like I've said before, I think there are a variety of ways that this can play out. But the buyback that we're seeing on altcoins here, given the fact that Bitcoin did dip, and Bitcoin gave a pretty nice recovery off the low. Maybe it was just mean reversion on alts, but I do believe it's probably setting up for, a pretty gnarly alt season. So let's talk about some picks, guys, because I'm sure that we all have, some alts that we're looking at that could potentially outperform. Jackus, I'll let you go first. If there are any that immediately stick out to you, if we were to have a big rotation into alts right now, what would you have your eye on? I know that ETH is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Chad.
See. My picks. Well, as I've been saying, guys, like I do not have single picks that I think will do the best. Obviously, we have seen coins like TIA, Tao. We have seen Gasplan. All of these doing much better than the rest of the market. We've seen Injective hitting new all-time highs. Crazy. But I keep on preaching. I am no Sherlock, and I mean I'm no prophet to know which of these shitcoins will do the best. And I have always preached diversification into many of these than taking partial profits on the way up and rotating the profits. I think but what I'll try to give you though is like you do not really want to be in my opinion, this is not where you want to be buying Injective, right? It just hit new all-time high. That doesn't mean it cannot go, but the potential, if it goes to 60, you're making 100%, right? Or so. That's like, I believe many of the other alts. But the difference is though, for anyone that was buying, sorry, anyone that was buying down here, right? So this, if it goes another 100%, he's making real exponentials here, but not not very want to buy, but I do believe many of these alts will be uh, going in a similar fashion, where many of them are trading around these levels currently or so. Now I'll try to give you a few examples, right? So, for example, my favorite one, SDX, very bullish on it. It's setting up very nicely, leaving many untapped highs. It's a BRC ecosystem token. It can spend here, something reaccumulating. Something like this can happen. I do not know, but at some point, it's going to start breaking higher and do basically injective. So lots of these are yet to be yet to do these moves, and these offer these exponentials. But once again, is it going to be STX? Yeah, I think so, but it could be really many of these. And if you if you are going to try to pick the the big one and go all in on that one, well, there are good chances that the one that you pick will just not do as well as the others. And yeah, this is my take, guys. Basically, what do you guys think?
The INJ, because I was looking at it too. I love to look at altcoins that have already pumped, and then you can kind of speculate and project the type of pump that other altcoins could have. The right altcoins. Not every alt's gonna catch a bid at the same time, but I remember thinking to myself a few weeks ago, like, wow, Rune was a first mover. Like, it was so early off the bottom. I should have noticed it. And then I'm thinking to myself this week, I was thinking Rune was so early, but INJ just finished the consolidation that Rune basically just entered. And it's a few weeks ahead of even Rune, which isn't surprising, right? I mean, INJ was essentially the very first coin to pretty much parabolically pump this year that I can think of, right? I mean, it moved in January, February, pulled like a 4 or 5x off the low before people could even blink. But I'm gonna trade INJ a lot more, I think, going forward, given that it's gonna be a Hasaka coin. Because Hasaka is gonna try to pump it from price discovery, I think, and Jump Capital is behind it as well. Maybe we're going into favorable alt conditions. I'm with you, Jackus. I think it could be one of those things where it either, like, you definitely don't want to be longing here at 25 with leverage. I think that would be crazy, but I imagine we'd likely consolidate near this all-time high for like a week or so, and there will be some sort of move out of it. We don't know if it'll be like a 60% move, but it could also be, if we're going to have a dynamic season, it could be maybe another X or two, like another multiple or two on INJ, which is already a fairly high cap. So you could size into it as well. But
Oh, for sure.
I don't
I
think the trade is
definitely.
gone yet necessarily.
Oh, I wouldn't say gone, but as you said, it's definitely a great one to trade because there is
Yeah.
lots of people piling into this one. There is therefore there's lots of liquidity, and I believe the price structure will be rather clean, especially on lower time frames. Now that the liquidity is in.
I think people, and really what I've been doing is, obviously you want to trade the consistent outperformers like INJ, but I think identifying alts that are, can you zoom back out again real quick?
Oh, okay.
Identifying alts that are not necessarily in their accumulation range, because the timing will be really difficult to time, and if you do that, you should make sure that you probably have ample capital to allocate to active movers too. But the structure right after that, right? The one that INJ put in, I guess it would, in Q3 after July, basically for INJ. You should look for alts probably that are in that.
Do you want to know what I think, Tommy? I think
What?
people are underexposed. That's what I think. But go ahead.
But they're definitely underexposed to altcoins. I agree, Will. And if they are long alts, I think they're long alts on leverage, not necessarily spot. So
It's because they
Kavanaugh?
don't trust it, man. They don't trust it. And not trusting something is usually the best case to try and trust it. Because I feel like when everybody's going against the grain, the majority of people are typically on the wrong side of the play, especially when it comes to markets.
Well, I'll tell you guys one thing that I'm pretty interested in seeing is, maybe Bitcoin kind of cools off here, and then when we get the official ETF announcement, we'll see what that looks like. But everybody has it pinpointed as a sell the news event, and GCR had a quote a long time ago. I don't know if he tweeted it, but it might have been like one of those random Telegram screenshots that happens to circulate Twitter every now and then. But he was basically saying when everybody views an event as sell the news, it's probably not a sell the news event. On ETF approval, like when we get that announcement, we're probably going to have some sort of rip, and the stickiness will likely be down to the actual flows into the ETF.
Hey, Tommy, remember when the super cycle was the buy the news event?
Oh man, did you see Kyle Davies tweeted last night? Super cycle.
Oh man.
Wait, what?
Lower.
That's where you got to start watching out.
So much lower.
I think the real super cycle all along has been in these, maybe not necessarily in Bitcoin and ETH, but for people who have stuck around and held a long bias throughout, there's been plenty of altcoin opportunities pretty much every quarter. And that maybe that is not a super cycle in the sense that they meant it, but there's definitely a super cycle of opportunity for crypto natives that I think will continue, honestly.
Well, I think the Bitcoin ETF approval, not when the product goes live, but the approval will probably not be sell the news, and it should be. I think it probably sets the high for Bitcoin dominance. If I had to guess, it's probably like a monstrous ETH BTC wick to the downside, and then
you see ETH getting bid hard.
Yes,
they're going to be front running that ETH ETF.
Yeah.
Then it's time for super cycle again.
When is the ETF delayed to? I'm curious.
Each one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I saw it was delayed to later in the year.
Let's see. It's a good question. I use Twitter like Google now.
But yeah, I mean, I think you probably see ETH front run any ETF for sure. The same way that Bitcoin did, maybe even more so, given all the stuff that ETH has. And I'm sorry for cutting you off there, Jack. Is given all the stuff that ETH has coming down the pipeline to boost the Ponzi, right?
How's that like button coming along?
Man, it needs to be smashed a bit more. I haven't looked at it yet, but I can probably guess that you guys are slacking. It's a Tuesday, so I'll cut them some slack. But we got 47 likes on the video, guys. There's 53 of you in here. We gotta pump that number up. But of course, we do. Hold up, my computer. I thought it was about to die. But of course, we appreciate that you guys are tuned in and hopefully enjoying the content. If you guys have any charts that you want us to take a look at, just throw them in the comments and we'll do our best to get to them on the show.
I can tell you why the room is lacking a little bit.
We need more doctor.
No. Somebody, I don't know who it was. Somebody forgot to tweet the link to the YouTube.
No, it's a whole thing, Will. We've been all through it. Whole thing. I was mining this coin, and then I somehow lost access to it. So, don't worry about her.
Oh. It was the coin's fault, not mine.
Yeah.
The things we do for shit coins, man.
Yeah.
He's over here digging dumpsters and looking for fires.
Hey, Will, it's the next Caspa, so.
Sometimes I joke with myself, or I just think about it just think about when you have to go buy an alt in a location that you've never transacted before. Like I think about 2021 in the fall, I was trying to figure out how to get to all these chains, right? It's always like you have to, when you're trying to like sprint to go buy a coin because you think it might pop off and it's not in a place where you have liquidity readily available. Oh,
yeah.
the best.
Well, that
accidentally
was.
send money to an address that doesn't exist. I'm sure we've all
Oh
done
my
that.
god,
Dude, I had to operate through the Beam network last night, and it took a minute for me, man. I
bro!
couldn't.
I sent a whole BNB to like the wrong address. I sent a whole ETH to the wrong address last cycle. I was just like, man.
Yeah.
I sent a few grand in AVAX to the wrong to the spell contract, not even my withdrawal.
Oh my gosh! When you
address.
send it to the contract because you think you're buying it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, when you're just copying and pasting all these contracts back and forth and you're trying to do it quickly, sometimes you don't even realize that you have the wrong one.
Mhm.
Oh, man. Haven't done that in a while, though. Thank God.
People don't know. They don't know, man.
Did you guys ever have to bridge to the worst bridging experience I've ever had was Harmony. Was one. I did not buy Jewel at all because I could not figure out how to bridge over there, man. And I had liquidity at one point on probably like 7 or 8 different chains, but I still could not for the life of me figure out how to get on Harmony. And good now, because I don't know if you guys have seen that how much TVL they have now. It's literally only 5 million. So if you went in there with size, you could not bridge out.
Man.
No, but it's good because if you're anticipating the next bull run, you can literally enter before anybody else, just like how Elon did on Twitter. And then once they all start flooding in and telling you how it's the future, you could sell to them.
Will's gonna dump on you guys. Just remember that.
Yeah, Will on you.
We are all Will's exit liquidity, and he's got the size. Our size is not his size.
Tell people, man, they always fall for it. They fall for the influencer told me that this is the future. It never
Guys,
fails, man.
this is something I wanted to discuss too, right? So this is injective versus fetch, and here we see, when injective got listed, during the early altcoin mania, it started to run a lot. It did pretty crazy, it was 3,000%. Fetch did basically. It's actually slightly less, So this once again proves, by the way, that new coins will outperform the old ones. But what happened here is that we got the bear market, right? Here the bounce wasn't as big as on Fetch. Fetch had that one last leg higher. I still think, though, that the real top in the market happened in like April 2021, right? Because many alts did not make that new all-time high. But yeah, that's just my case. Anyways, the market kept going down, and then we get the bottoming accumulation. And now this bottoming accumulation took, for some coins, it's taking way longer. Like it's going all the way till now. For example, Pear, right? Vulcan Forge. And then we look at this chart and we see that Injective is the first real last cycle coin that makes new all-time highs, right? Like obviously we have seen Caspa making new all-time highs and so on, but that's really a coin of this new cycle. The coins of the past cycle, the injective is really leading here. But how did we know? And I keep on saying that we could not. Everyone is like telling you now why injective was the coin to be the one, right? But the truth is that nobody knew. And you see that FAT was actually the first one pumping. It pumped on the AI narrative, and it did insane multiples. After the strong bear market, it was like the one coin, right? It was injective of that time. And it did
So I have a question
go.
for you, Jackus.
Yeah.
How do you think the AI narrative plays out in crypto here over the next few years? Because I have friends who are very, very in tune with tech and crypto in general, and he, probably my smartest friend said I'm probably about 15% allocated to AI right now, but I feel like I should probably be maybe as much as 75 to 80% allocated. And locally, it might be a top for AI. Who knows, right? Q1, AI topped and it consolidated for 6 months. It's making new highs on top of that right now. So it could be one of those things where, locally we pull back from this level before going higher in a few years. But do you think that, how do you play AI in crypto at this point? Do you think it's, finding on-chain gems? Is it playing the proven winners? Or do you think that the winner, and this is a question for Dr. Outlook too, or do you think that the eventual winner of this AI race within crypto is a coin that hasn't even been created yet? Because I really think that this is, AI it's a self-explanatory narrative why it will be such an outperformer over the next few decades. But within crypto especially, blockchain technology does provide it some unique utility that I think can actually be capitalized on. So I'm kind of curious how to play AI within crypto here over the next few years.
I think he's sort of named it there, that maybe there is a coin that has not been yet created within AI. I think that's a very good case, and it will do probably lots of returns. I think speculating on fetch is a good one, because lots of people are trying to find already listed other shitcoins, basically the copycats, to outperform. But it's usually, it's like with Pepe, in my opinion. Pepe ran the hardest, and then there were the copycats trying to do the same, but Pepe was the one and will be the one. So I think that could be the case with fetch, but I think new coins will pop up too that will do better. But apart from that, I'm no expert on this matter. It's the same type as with Injective. Why did Injective run this high? Do we even know why? Like, why is Injective this high
Jump
to this day?
Jump cooking, Kanav.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say his name, right?
yeah, probably. But that's basically like insider. We can call it sort of insider pumping a coin. But apart from that, right now, for everyone, Injective is the new revolutionary tech, but it can be legit anyone. And what I've been trying to say since the beginning, and this applies to AI too, is that I have no freaking idea which one of these. And I try to make exposure in the sector where I pick like 2-3 coins, and that's it. And hopefully I'm lucky on some of these, and then I try to catch the meat of the move. That's how I play them.
Not a big render guy. Seems like
Render.
people think between fetch and render.
Yeah, both make sense.
What do you think, Will? Janet Yellen.
You talk about on Injective?
No, about how do you think artificial intelligence plays out in crypto? Given the fact that there's probably coins that are going to come out in the future that are better than what we have now, but there's clearly such a demand for it in the current day.
I mean, there's a want for a lot of things, right? There's a want for flying cars, but we're not there yet. I think people just got to look at it from that perspective specifically, right? I think just people don't do that. They expect something that's just not there tech wise. I could tell you, if you were talking about AR VR, I'd be like, hey, we're getting there with AR VR. We definitely have that. But as far as AI, AI has been a thing since the 2000s, like, and I mean early too, like literally 2000, right? AI was a thing. And this is why it's so funny when people sit there and like, oh, AI. It's like, dude, AI is not some new revolutionary tech that just came about that we just thought about. It's been around for like 20, 30 plus years. Like people they don't understand that all it is it's a drive to drive market. It's a drive to drive market share. And for me, like Nvidia has been just like skating off of this, man. Like they just been skating and skating, and I think it's gonna come back to bite them in the end, right? Everything I see from Nvidia, like I have an Nvidia card, for instance. So when I do updates, it's always talking about AI this and where the AI that, and it's like, dude, you don't even have AI. What are you talking about AI? It's like AI is not a thing anywhere. There's language models being created, but what is a language model? It takes multiple decades to create a language model. And that's why when people are sitting there talking about, oh, we have AI now, it's like, dude, if we have AI now, it's like a 3-year-old. Like it's absolutely useless.
How do you think it will develop in crypto? Or are you? That's a better question actually. Is are you looking to play AI in crypto? Will I know you are. You're probably, other than Wabi, our resident gem seeker.
Yeah, I think there's a play for it. I think there's people that don't understand, markets and don't understand technology, and they're gonna get played, right? They're gonna get played in these markets, and so I'm willing to play that game because I'm not the one on the dumb end of the stick, right? I'm not the one who's gonna get taken for all my money. Um, and so and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way to people, but it's like just people fall into these categories consistently to where they discuss this is the future and so on and so forth. It's understanding when technology has reached a point to where it's feasible and it has more promise because cost basis is lowered, right? The cost basis to create a language model right now is absolutely astronomically insane, right? I can add some more words on top of that sentence if you want, but it's just that high. Like millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to create a language model. When language models get to where they're like, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think at that point we've reached a point where AI is feasible, right? And now we can create language models that are extending beyond what most people think, and just like EVs, right? With Tesla, look at Tesla's development. Now it exploded 2010 to now. Like it's done very well to get its cost basis down in roughly about 13 14 years. But when they first came out, how much was the normal Tesla? Over 100K. Just like everything else when it's new technology, you could invest now and you could assume, but you don't know who the winner is. You don't know who the winner is. That's the problem. You won't know until probably about mid game. That's when you'll know who's going to shine or outshine everybody else in AI.
Good points. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. What do you guys think like the AI tokens are for?
Dude, there's so many that are coming out now. I mean, there's been some I've been
There, there's
aping it.
game
Only like
tokens that are
reward
AI.
paying attention to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fetch and render are obvious winners, I think.
And then Tau, which Tucker and I bought Tau
Yeah,
in January at like $40. Man,
what a
I'm
fumble,
hoping
man!
it
What a
honestly
fumble.
was.
Dude, I know. I was like, what in the hell is wrapped Tau? I'm not holding this thing. And now it's like what, $200 or something? Like,
I think it's more than that, man. It's strong. I think it held 300 as support the other day.
no way.
Oh man, it's
Tucker's big upset now.
Oh, 325. And it looks like
328,
it's gonna keep
man.
going up too.
Oh
Jesus.
my god.
Other than those three, I think you're pretty much picking like needles out of a haystack.
I
Kind of
would
in the
drop
same way
that bag
I
so
love
fast, man.
biotech. Say that again.
I would drop that bag so fast.
Tau?
You
Yeah.
mean TP up here?
Oh, I'd be out. No way I'd touch that after that. I'd
On an
move.
8X, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Well,
Here's
now,
the thing. I
Will,
would
is
just
the
rotate the capital
scenario.
somewhere else.
Will, you can so basically like with Tau and some of these other ones, a lot of these other AIs are using them, or they're like building on them, right? Like you can almost think of them as L1s, almost, right? They're not L1s, but they're using them to build, right? So now you can go look who's building on Tau or who's building on whatever, and then buy that. Like you could buy the beta of these AIs.
There you
Who's
go.
building or something?
Yeah.
Like all this is, I think, really what All Might said. The revolution in AI tokens is number go up, and then
You got it.
that
That's it.
like look at Tower, right? It's basically the same. Like the price action is the same as for Fetch here, legit. And this is what I said to you, Tommy, earlier, that I think Fed is the one, like the big one, and then you have the new listings. And now that you guys mentioned it, Fetch went 175% from this leg, right? and there is the new token, the new shiny token, and this one went, well, 700, 600 or so from this like lower.
Do you think that RNDR looks like INJ before it went super parabolic? I think you could
Yeah, I
argue.
do think so. I do think so. I'll get to RNDR. Just quickly, guys. I wanted to touch upon this one. Is that during the AI phase in early year, we've seen that crazy upside. And then for some reason, like what happened to injective could have happened to fetch in early the year, right? This one could have keep going like this, and it did not. Why? It had one of the most bullish narratives behind it in recent history. Fucking AI, everyone's jumping on AI. It did not. And this is what I'm trying to say. You guys cannot know, no matter how great anything looks like, how it's exactly going to move. What you want to do is diversify these tokens that have some narrative, some potential behind, and then start taking partial profits, right? If you see the trend changing, well, you should change with it too. If you see the higher time frame macro scale changing, well, prepare. For some reason, injective, it did go up, in January too. It did a nice flip. This was a great buy down here on the retest of this structure. Then it kept going up, midway reaccumulation, which is like this one, and then further upside. But who knows? Who knows? Uh, I think by the way, fetch here looks really good, to be honest. It looks like
It
it
does.
will keep pumping higher, and I wonder what it means for Tau, to be honest.
Here's the thing. Look, I'll tell you this. I'll give you a real world company, AI directly related, C3 AI. Go look at that thing. That's how I knew the AI narrative was BS.
Sorry, what token?
It's a stock company, C3 AI.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That pumped in Q1. Do we just buy? Do you guys remember the ETF they literally just named with ticker AI? Is that a buy at this point? I remember that pumping towards the end of the AI run in Q1, but I don't think that AI is finished its run locally. So I don't know.
No, I don't know that it has for the cycle either, but I would look at C3 AI.
Can you write me the ticker? Well, I legit cannot
Oh, it's just
understand.
C3.
Okay, C3.
Isn't
And
that
then
that's a token too?
and then are you under stocks? It should just be C3 AI.
It's like
It didn't come
this.
up. Hold on. Let me pull it
C3.
up.
Am I writing it correctly?
I think so.
C3 AI.
Let
Maybe
me
it got delisted. Maybe it got delisted.
C3. Yeah. So the stock is. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, RNDR in the meantime. Let's jump into this one, right?
Oh, it's AI. That's the stock. Just AI.
Yeah.
Tell me how
AI.
memeable that is.
Yes. I remember that run. It happened in February.
Now tell me how strong the AI narrative it is with a company that's completely AI.
Yeah, to be honest, it did not do much. Like, it only went up 300%
Now I'm pointing
on
this
the
out
AI.
specifically. This is how I know the AI narrative is BS, but I know it will cause the number go up. Right?
That's why we're here, right?
So that's why I wanted to use this as an example to show people like, look, if you really believe in this thing, this company would be a lot higher in valuation.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely should. Maybe it pumps though. It looks pumpy here, but
It kind of looks like some crypto charts we were just looking at that haven't pumped yet.
It could, but
indeed,
it should be outpacing Nvidia in my opinion. A full on AI company.
Maybe I buy
Yeah,
some calls in that. I have to take a look at that. C3 AI.
this looks like a continuation for Nvidia.
I think Nvidia is about to hit 500 bucks, but I don't know how much more I expect than that.
Yeah, that does a
If
really
like
good top on Nvidia.
if like this is the reaccumulation, and then you get the further upside.
Did you just draw a line to 800?
I mean, if you told anyone down here that we will see new all-time highs, they would think it's crazy, right? So
Yeah, what did it
who
go down to? 100?
I do not know, but this does look like a reaccumulation. Although, it would not surprise me if we see drop first. Who knows? Who knows?
I'll give it to you like this. Look, this is Apple at 1 trillion before it got to 3 trillion many years later. And what's your upside potential? A 3x? Why even touch it? Why even touch it? Like, in my opinion, right?
To trade
Nvidia
it.
goes up to like 1,500 a share. Why would I even be interested in it? I'd rather look for better growth, smaller
I agree with
valuation
you as an
companies.
investor. Like from an investing standpoint, I think that's a no-brainer to probably be looking for other AI tokens. I like
mean,
trading large caps though. Maybe
A
that's a
trade,
flaw.
a trade for sure, Tommy. Like if you're trading Nvidia, sure, trade it. But long-term investing, not worth touching.
Yeah, that C3 flag, we'll call it. It's kind of ugly, but it
It's
looks
just
like
AI
what
as a ticker.
Sol did, man, a few weeks ago, or just now, really. Like,
what if Nvidia is like right here? Probably not, of course, but like,
man, that would be.
Well, Zachus, keep in mind, if I said
it
it's
is here.
it's Apple at 1 trillion, I'm saying, hey, there's potential maybe to go to 1,500. But for me, it's like as a long-term investor, if I'm not trading it, why would I
Yeah,
care?
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I suppose it's good for people that are looking to persevere their capital and make some nice gains too while having low risk, right? But if
Well,
you are looking to make insane multiples, then why are you not aping on crypto right now?
somebody's got to buy the top. Somebody's got to buy the top. And people want exposure to AI, and Nvidia's the most base level way of getting it. It's like, I want exposure to crypto. Okay, I'll buy you some Bitcoin, or I'll buy you some Ethereum.
C3 AI if you want exposure to AI, not Nvidia. Nvidia is not an AI company. It is a GPU company.
Let's take a look at stocks because we really haven't looked at them too much today.
Yeah.
What are we doing on the good old legacy markets?
Here's the thing, Tommy. Your average investor doesn't know the difference between a language model and a company that creates GPUs.
I
That's the
barely
funny
know the
part.
difference between what you just said.
So language model is
Yeah,
basically
no clue.
AI is taught through what you call a language model, right? They use hardware, but it's taught through what you call a language model. And to do that, you need a lot of space, you need a lot of hardware, you need a lot of different things. Does the hardware have to be NVIDIA? No, it doesn't. It can be any hardware. This is why when NVIDIA is like, "Oh, we're leading the AI," like, dude, anybody can do this from any hardware. Like you're just BSing your average consumer.
Qs, Will, that's your. They look strong today, man. I'm taking a look at them right now.
So does
Oh wait,
the
we just
S&P.
lost the doctor.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Will, I was just saying the Qs look amazing.
Yeah, the Qs look great.
They look fantastic. They're about to eat up that entire 3-day FVG.
About to go through all-time high.
Yeah, they're about to eat up that whole weekly FVG. They're definitely going to all-time high.
Man, I love this chart of AMD. Look at this all-time high breakout,
AMD
consolidation
way
above.
better value, way better value. I'm not just talking from
You're cutting off, Will.
the product. Their products are fair value.
You cut off a
You
little
said
bit
what?
there, Will.
No, I was saying that. I don't know what's going on here. I was saying AMD is their value is much better valuated on product than Nvidia's. Nvidia BS's their customers every time. Let me let me break it down for our audience. All right, on how Nvidia plays people. I'm gonna break it down. They
Is this
come
an
out with the
analogy or
no
is this
no
an
no.
analogy
This
or
this
real
is an
story?
actual product line, not an analogy. All right. I know I normally come out with analogies, but today it's going to be
I
the
love the
product line. I guess we could do an analogy with the product line. All right. So Nvidia comes out and they're like, all right, what's this first product we're going to make and sell? They're like, all right, we're going to go to the hood. We're going to get the crack that's mixed up with the baby powder. Right. So it's kind of filtered out a little bit. So then they bring that to your consumer. They're like, this is the pure stuff. Your consumer then gets hooked on that stuff, right? And now they got the bad stuff. Or we can even go with the fentanyl, whatever you guys want to go with. This is a little extreme. But they mix it with stuff that it's not pure, right? And then they go to another location, right? And like, all right, this stuff didn't do too well. People hated it. A lot of people died from it. We're going to move to the next area and we're going to distribute a lot more cleaner stuff, right? And they cleaned it up a little bit. And then after that, then they moved to the next area and then it was completely pure. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's look at their GPU lineup. So they come out with we'll say the 1 series, right? Then the 2 series, then the 3 series, and the 4 series. The 1 series, really good. The 2 series, complete trash. The 3 series, really good. The 4 series, complete trash. Now, let me break it down even further, right? There's a deeper portion to this, right? That deeper portion is that after they did the 1 series, they're like, all right, how can we screw our consumer even more? So then they're like, all right, we'll come out with the 2070s, the 2060s, and the 2080s and the 2090s. 2080s is no different than the 2070s, right? So it's two product lines that appear to be better. One's better than the other, but it's actual trash. And then after they did that, they're like, how can we milk our consumer even more? Well, we'll take that same GPU, the 2070s, 2060s, 2080s, 2090s, 20s, all that, and we'll go ahead and we'll unlock some of the software that they already had in the GPU and give them more power, and we'll call it supers. And we'll charge them more money, right? It's not like we could have just unlocked that in the beginning. Instead, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna dial back the GPUs so that way they get screwed on what they're getting. And if they want that access, then we'll go ahead and we'll call it a super and we'll charge you like $300-400 more GPU. And then what did they do with the 30 series? Then they came out with what? They came out with the 3060, 3070, 3080, 3090, right? Being actual decent lines. And then they're like, all right, how can we screw our consumer even more? They're like, we'll do the Super Series again. And then they came out with a 40 series. Now here's the thing: the 40 series is even more funny. They added a third tier to the 40 series, right? A third tier. So 4060s, 4070s, 40s, 4090s normal, and then they said 4060s, 4070s, 4080s, and 4090s Ti, and then they're going to come out with 4060s, 4070s, 4080s, 4090s supers. All this could have been just one product, and they could have just unlocked it all from the beginning.
Sounds like Apple.
But they're literally just they're taking the GPUs you buy in the beginning, and they're purposely dialing them back so that way you have to buy their better upgrade when it comes out. And it keeps a dead line, just keeps it going. No, this would be like Apple saying this is actually, yeah, you're right. iPhone 14 and XR, then yeah, you're probably right. It's very much like Apple. So these guys all know the same playbook, right? Whereas like when you got things like AMD doesn't have these extra lines. They just have, 6800, 6900, and then you get the XTX, which is like the TI version, the highest version, right? And that's it. Like it doesn't have all this other bullshit on the same exact number of GPU where they're basically unlocking product that you should have already had available to you in the beginning. So this is why Nvidia like really pisses me off. I'm just saying, like, because they know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. Your average consumer has no clue how bad they're getting screwed.
Most consumers are taken advantage of, I feel like, by large tech companies, but most don't even know it.
Yeah.
Not to get on any tinfoil hat on this show, but
Guys, I can so imagine so many people right down here would be saying, "Hey, this is a bouncing ball, and we need to sell everything." Right? Right here, I can imagine so many people will be saying that. Looking at this chart down here, it looks like so many crypto charts, and then it goes does 7,500%. It's like bye bye, and I feel like I'm not saying freaking Cardano does it right, but we've seen lots of these coins being at very similar situation. So let me put on the weekly, right? And they've been doing the bouncing ball thingy. So let me put it like this, right? Been doing the bouncing ball, and you know how bearish the sentiment was back then.
Yeah, Champs hit the nail on the head. Nvidia in 2024 launching a 6 gigabyte GPU. Who is launching any GPU below 16? There ain't a single thing that's going to run under 16. I'm sorry to rant. Like it just, man, it's actually like you know what it reminds me of when it comes to GPU. It reminds me, or what it makes me think of, is that these companies have looked at our fractional banking system, and they're like, how can we fractionally give out products to people? And they're like, oh, we'll just lock products behind software. So that way, when they want the next year, they got to buy the same GPU. We just unlock it on the software side.
oh man, you're bull posting Cardano.
Bro,
Oh,
I
Cardano
mean,
is 50 something cents right now. All right.
what if we are all wrong, and this market basically like look at this, like fucking look at this chart, man. It's doing the bouncing ball. Everyone's fucking telling you, hey, this is breaking down and we are going to fucking new lows. And maybe we are all wrong and we have no idea how early we are. And maybe we are just here, right? Maybe we get a reaccumulation over the next few days, weeks and months. And then, the real upside comes for crypto. And I mean, I'm just joking here with Cardano. It's just that I remembered straight away that it was on this bouncing ball a few weeks earlier. And maybe we need to fucking reevaluate the thesis here. Maybe we are wrong.
that would be wild, man.
Yeah, that would be.
I need to see some Hoskinson propaganda on my feed again.
I mean, imagine if Cardano hits new all-time highs again. I would fucking make myself. Man, I do not know if like Cardano hits new all-time highs. I do not know about that. But what I definitely do know is that lots of people are not ready for it, for this scenario. And it's fucking same. Okay? It's fucking same. Like, dude, it's legit the same. What are we even talking about here? You get the crazy bear market, right? This was '08. Here we got, well, I don't know how to call it, 22. You get the first bounce. Then you get sell-off. You hit the low again, you get another smaller bounce, go slow to that size again, small bounce, and then you get the upside. Nobody expects this. Everyone's like, this is the top. Then we get the the bounce lower. Everyone's like, I told you so. This was a stop. It's a scam, and then we just continue higher. And I do not even know what this would mean for like many low caps. Probably mean like maybe we are really in that time of being early on internet companies. Maybe many of us thought that we are like 2002, 2003. Maybe we are just, like, I don't know, 1985 or something. I do not know. I'm just saying this fractal looks fucking
Nah,
crazy.
I think that's a good possibility there. I don't think that's something to necessarily wait to decide. What's that? I just missed that. No, I don't think that's necessarily something to wait to decide. I think that's a good analogy with crypto, especially, and I think that is the case. That's why I think I was talking to I think our Giga Chats, and I was like, we're probably, in a secular position to where we maybe have one more cycle of, great exponentials, and then we'll probably normalize like every other market, and then it'll be kind of slow growth from there. So like this is the big boom is coming. It's just not, it might be the next cycle, not this one, but the big boom is coming, and a lot of people are going to miss it, especially on the crypto side. But I did want to touch too on the GPU thing because I think I know the future of GPUs and where they're going. So I just want to throw it out there, and you heard it here first. But all they're going to do is they're just going to remove or make the VRAM interchangeable at some point, just like how Apple did the C drive, and they try to make their plugins very unique, so you have to buy their plugs. Um, and what they're going to do is they're going to make it interchangeable, and they're probably going to make whatever the RAM is, in a way that it's not normal to like motherboards. So you have to buy whatever size RAM they're using because it'll be like a square or something weird, and then you'll have to plug that in. So you'll have to buy that RAM at exponentials, and the GPU will just be cheaper. And a lot of people won't even see that coming, and they don't understand that RAM evolves at like the speed of light. So you go from like DDR2 to DDR4 to DDR3 to DDR4, and now arguably we're even higher than that now. And so you'll be constantly trying to upgrade to keep up with the VRAM on your GPUs. So your GPUs will be kind of like a little more static, but your RAM itself will be a separate product that you'll end up paying exponentials for. And dude, they're just gonna keep fractionalizing this stuff, guys. Like they've already fractionalized the product line. They're gonna start fractionalizing the parts, and it's just we live in a fractionalized system. This is what it is, banking and everything.
Yeah, very good points, Will. I love the way you think about stuff. Um, really, it's like sometimes combining the left and right curve, which is what I love to do as well.
You can't fade one or the other. You got to put them together, and complete the puzzle.
Yeah, and I think you are completing those puzzles. And guys, you need to complete the puzzles too and hit the like button because that completes the full picture. Will is putting one side of the picture for you, and you need to put the other. Man, I'm well, guys, like this fractal right now completely changed everything for me. I cannot unsee this fractal now. I'm not saying Cardano does this. Maybe it does. Who knows? But what if we are really wrong and all of these just made their first impulsive like? We will see the reaccumulation and then it continues freaking high. Like,
Look, Jackus, let me add some context to your conversation. Can you do a replay back to the top of the market on ADA? Just a replay to the top.
what time frame?
Any time frame's fine. We could do the hires if you want, the weeklies or whatever, or monthly. Do you think anybody that coming?
Oh, sorry, what did you say, Will?
Do you think anybody saw that coming?
The drop?
No, the run. Look at ADA
Oh,
before the drop.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was, but
I'm just saying, like I'm throwing it out there because you're making it sound like what you're putting out there is an impossibility. That's why I
yeah,
had you cut it off before the drop so you
gotcha.
could see what this looks like before the drop happens.
So I legit have a tweet that I can share with you guys, and I was saying right here, this is the golden buying opportunity uh, to buy. I was actually in from lower because I was buying on the BTC pair. But then right here, I was saying this is like a no-brainer. We just had a macro flip of this level. And I think many coins are at very similar structure right now too. Um, then you broken the COVID breaker, right? You got the full awesome retest, and then you get this, right? And I was basically also publicly saying that I sold, I think, let me see on the daily. I was selling like, actually, would have to go in. I think I was selling right here somewhere. I think so because yeah. Because I used just a no-brain logic, right? Where like this was the deviation above, we got a market structure break, and then there was the upside. So I think I was selling. I think I was selling somewhere here. It was one of my best plays. Gotta be honest. Freaking Cardano.
Cardano was one of the first plays I got seriously into as well. Just because I feel like it was one of the, I don't know if normie coins was, definitely became a normie coin at the end, but it was pretty easy for me to access. And at the time, when you're trying to figure out crypto and you're trying to buy all these new altcoins, you're just thinking to yourself, okay, why isn't this all just on Coinbase? Um, you know, at the time it wasn't. I had to go through eToro to buy Cardano. Good times.
Or really? Were you guys not using Binance at all at that time?
I was, I was.
KuCoin,
KuCoin.
I
Nubank.
le I legit thought I was too late on the Binance party when it was 2019. Or like 18 or something.
Bro,
I was like,
KuCoin,
man.
KuCoin will be missed. I'll tell you that. KuCoin will be missed. That was my shitcoin factory. That's what it was. I would buy all my shitcoins on KuCoin. I mean, I even had their exchange token. I liked them so much.
That says
KCS.
a lot, Will. That says a lot.
That
Guys,
does.
what if we are completely wrong on the market? I mean, not completely wrong. We are completely right. But if we underestimate the magnitude, and many of these has just made this upside, they'll be doing the retest here, and then there is the full send.
Jackus, let me just jump in for 1 second. I'm not underestimating anything. All right, I am full on ridiculous right now with my portfolio. I'm being like everybody else is selling right now. I'm like, I'll buy your bags. Just send them over. I will buy them because like I already know how this market moves, and so many people have no clue how like where's the money? Where's the money? Oh, there's so much money in the market at the top, right? All the people max long on Luna, full send on Luna, full send on FTX, and then get completely shreked at the end. Like you,
Right.
you got to understand like when you're at the bottom and when you're at this ain't the top. This ain't even close to the top in my opinion. I don't think we even can fathom what the top even looks like. There's no more up and down markets. It's gonna be round tops and round bottoms. just like it was. And so since you know you're getting around top, you'll know when you start getting distributed to. Just wait till the round top happens. It's not hard. That's how I got out the first time.
Yeah, guys, this is fucking square. Let me actually see few other coins. Like, what do we want to look at? Some of these coins. Just hit me with random tokens.
Go with. I'm gonna give you the normal ones. Let's go with Algorand.
Algo, okay.
Oh man, you and
Good
Algo
old
will.
Algo.
You and
What do you
Algo will.
what do you think when happens when Algo gets above that floor that's sitting underneath right now?
It hit. I like that it hit.
Will
in
dumps
all
on you.
Yeah, that's
Will
what.
dumps on you. That's what happened. That's cool.
Exactly what happens.
Look, it's barely even moved out the low. Pull up LRC. LRC is another one. Like, people are just sleeping right now. They're literally just like knocked out, went out, drank. Somebody slipped a roofie in their drink, and they're not getting up. They're not getting up. Where's the money? Where is the money? Where's the? You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it. It'll come. You believed in the tooth fairy when you were 9, right? But you don't believe in liquidity.
That
Which
is a
one's
part.
real?
That is a thing about traditionally illiquid markets that people forget is that you are supposed to buy them when they are illiquid, and then they become liquid.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how people lose the concept. Oh, I gotta wait for the money to come first. Okay, then you're buying somebody else's money. That's what you're doing. You're buying their positions because they're gonna exit when you enter. You're waiting for money to come in. Like that makes no sense at all as an investor. Like if I'm investing, I'm not buying Nvidia. Why? Because the money already came in. It already came in. I'm looking where the money has not come in yet, where I think there will be value and where I think the money has not stepped in yet.
Star
Yeah.
Atlas.
That was the demand from the chat. Guys, if you have any tickers you wanna look at, let us know in the comments. But right after you smash that like button. Okay, first smash that like button, then make the request for the coin. Yeah, not all of these are looking like this scheme or pattern, but lots of these are. What else is there, guys?
63, man. 63 is your bid on Soul. Trust.
Hey, what?
$63 on Soul. That's
Is it?
spot. Yeah. It's the
63.
Tucker Nachi lines, Jackus. You know.
Tucker Notch.
Yeah.
Champ said you can't take me out. I'll get you arrested when I'm drunk.
Where's BTC, by the way?
Barry wants to look at sushi.
Oh shit!
My man, Barry. Good man.
Looks like we are dumping. Guys, by the way, the scenario I talked about before we started this stream, Tommy, was this one. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but maybe we are all wrong, and these went to all-time lows, and then they'll go back to all-time. Well, I do not know, man. But
The reason I like sushi is similar to it's. I think it's less similar to Link and more similar to a coin like Rune. Not that I think that sushi has any. Rune had, I would say, decent catalysts coming down the pipes. Like, I mean, for one, it benefits when the price of Bitcoin goes up. But I think ultimately the utility for Rune is that number went up. but I like I like for Rune and Sushi that while other DeFi set a very hard low, things like Link and SNX as well, very tidy low. Both Rune and Sushi ended up after we set the, I think it was when was it? Yeah, the May or June of 2022 lows on those coins. Both Rune and Sushi went on to make new lows after that, while things like Link and SNX did not. Which shouldn't be that surprising given that SNX and Link are larger caps than Sushi and Rune, but
Yeah, I mean SNX does look good.
it does.
But look, you could put every chart up there across the board against all sitting at the same lows. Every single one. And like, oh, where's liquidity? Where's the support? Where's this? Where's that? Look, there's undervalued markets and there's over. Can you pull up the chart that shows like the different states of the market, Jackus?
Oh, wait, what do you mean different states of the market?
So like the one that shows like depression, excitement, all that stuff.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Tommy, you know what I'm talking about?
Say that again.
The chart that shows the different emotions in the market.
Do you mean like the fear and greed index?
No.
Is it like an indicator or I don't know.
Different states of the market?
Hold on. I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna put it in the Discord, Jackus, and I'm gonna add you.
Okay.
All right. So I'm putting it under. Sorry, give me just a second.
God, looking at this SNX chart on like the 4 hour just reminded me.
It's under the staff. It's
trade.
under the staff one. Give me just a second. I'm posting it right now. That one.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Go ahead and pull that up and put that against all of our charts there.
Bro, you legit sent me the microscopic version of the.
Oh, is it small?
Yeah, it's legit this size.
Just bring it, make it bigger. Just make it bigger. They don't need to read it. They just need to look at it.
Okay.
Look at our chart below. Where are you at, guys? Are you in overvalued territory or undervalued?
It's time to sell everything, Will.
Bro, like, can I make this any simpler for people? Come on, like, yeah, GG said it right there. It's the stock market cheat sheet. It's not difficult. It's not difficult.
Oh, that. Okay, I know what that is.
Bro, I was legit making this case for DOT, and people laughed. Well, they are not laughing now, are they?
They're not going to be laughing when it actually goes back up to the freaking high again, and they're like, "Oh, what happened?"
What?
Not so funny.
Yeah. I mean, this, like many of these charts are the perfect representation of this, indeed. By the way, wait, how did you name this chart? Well, you call it like
the emotional behavior chart of market participants.
Yeah, this is how you called it. Next time is the Wall Street cheat sheet. Okay. If you said Wall Street cheat sheet, I would put it right there. But by the way, though, look at this.
There it is. It's a difficult play, guys. It's very hard. This is such a hard market to understand and to play. Very difficult.
ARK. You buying ARK? You a big believer in Cathie Wood?
Bro, when you look at that chart, tell me that doesn't look bullish.
Yeah, that looks good.
She probably bought some shit coins very low right now in some private deals, and she's going to say she bought all the way up there.
Yeah, here's the thing too with PayPal that supports my thesis, Jack, is
Yeah.
and yours too, and this is why I bought in the 40s, because I was like, oh, this is good. Is basically Kathy Woods bought into PayPal too, right? And I think if Kathy Woods bought into PayPal, something's gonna pop off at some point. So it's just kind of a matter of time and effort, right? Of when that'll happen. So like it's just a hold for me. Like it's like easy. I got in with spot, but I got in with spot at the lows, but I also got into that leverage position once you brought it up again yesterday, and we looked at it and we saw that bull dip.
Okay, so these charts, they are the same
Same
picture.
thing. It's the same thing. You can pull up Wall Street cheat sheet. Like, look, these things are out there for retail to look at, and nobody wants to look at the stuff that actually makes sense. They want to look at all the macro BS and war and blah 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 and money this and money that. Oh, there's no money. What? Look, if there's no money, it's opportunity. If there's lots of money, there's no opportunity. That's how this game is played. You enter when the money enters. You are the opportunity. You're the opportunity for somebody else to get out.
Oh my God. You're going to laugh so hard at this, Will. Do you remember D-Gods going from Sol to ETH?
Yes.
And how they did it at the bottom of Sol?
Are they going back to Sol again?
They're going back to Sol.
Bro, shut up.
Dude,
I wouldn't touch that project, man.
why?
Man. That is too funny.
What a joke. Like literally they got out at the bottom. The literal bottom.
That's crazy.
Hey guys, we reevaluated the market. We saw all the liquidities going to Sol, so we're going back.
But all you guys missed the wealth effect from number go
You guys
up.
missed the run up, but we're gonna get back in now. While the run up's already up, 3,000%.
What do you guys think of capitulating on some of the BNB shorts once again?
I mean, it's about time.
Locally, maybe a signal.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point he's gonna go broke. Because revenge trading apparently does not work for him.
Well, I guess he made money, technically speaking, but
Did he?
he underperformed.
30% out of 3,000 negative. Yeah.
I mean, God knows how much he paid in funding. I was watching BNB funding pretty much all year, and it was deeply negative pretty much all year. So he probably paid he might have made money on an unrealized profit, but I bet I wonder if his realized profit meant he didn't make any money. You could probably crunch the numbers on it if you really wanted to. Annualized funding for BNB was where do I find the annualized calculator, Tucker?
For
funding.
On CoinGlass?
Is it on CoinGlass?
Yeah. They have annualized.
Because I mean, funding for BNB to be paying it for like 11 months out of the year, seemingly maybe a full year, he might not have made any money.
What you're talking about, Tommy? He made a banger.
Yeah.
Wait, Tucker, the accumulated funding rate. That's it, right?
The accumulator.
Pull it up.
The accumulator. Jeez, Bybit funding. Ew.
Will is a big accumulator.
He is.
Right now.
Filters.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you do a hypothetical calculator for me, Tucker?
Yeah.
How much would you pay a year in funding if you were? I mean, I would say the average BNB funding for pretty much the entire year was like negative 0.05%. And at times it was a lot higher.
Oh, bro.
Negative 0.05%.
Are you kidding me?
So on how much?
What do you mean?
It would mean like you would need the position size. You're saying how much would you pay?
Yeah, like what percentage of your notional would you pay over the course of the year if the funding rate for BNB was negative 0.05%, which is what it was pretty much all year.
Let me see.
It's a lot in funding, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a ton in funding. Let's see.
Oh, my cat's going off. Ornaments.
And I was legit going to buy TRB right down here, and I have forgot about it. And now it's up 50%.
Good coin. Good coin. The real DWF scam. I still think that coin might be for money laundering, but
Is it?
so are a lot of these coins.
I mean, maybe it's like the whole crypto space right now.
All right, guys. Well, we've been going for about an hour and 46 minutes. We want to share some of the alpha, or we want to save some of the alpha for the rest of the week. Unless you guys have any parting thoughts here before we sign off, I can do the outro.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, it's 35%, man.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So he only made like half of what he said he did then, essentially.
Yeah.
Nice. Well done, Capo.
Well done.
But oh man. Yeah. So I got to do the whole outro that Max does usually. Make sure to smash that like button on the way out, guys, if you haven't already. The YouTube algo really loves when y'all do that. And I think it's taken a liking to us as well. I mean, we hit over 3,000 subs. The channel is growing pretty rapidly at this point, and you guys are a part of that too. Not just hitting the like button, but a lot of you guys are here tuning in every day. And, we love that you guys love our content, and hopefully you guys have been able to take away some actionable trading setups, some charts, and everything in between. Quick reminder, one quick reminder is that we do have a free trial going in the Discord at the moment, but it's not going to be lasting much longer. It'll probably, I mean, Christmas and the New Year, probably the last time that you'll be able to, take advantage of that deal. The entire Discord has been absolutely smashing it. So I can't recommend the people in the Discord enough. And if you like to hang out with a bunch of Chads who love to trade, it's just a great place for that as well. And you get to try it with no cost to yourself. So check that out if it is something that interests you. And a lot of our members will be able to vouch for the fact that, it's been a pretty great ride here over the last 2 to 3 months. But that's all from us today, guys. Make sure to tune in for Market Talk with King Wabi at 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time. Sometimes the timing may vary depending on how long our GigaChat calls go, but it's usually around that time. We will be back tomorrow for another episode of Market Check. But thank you guys once again for tuning in. Happy Tuesday, and stay safe this week. Thanks, guys.
Oh, I got you.
Have we forget about GM?